Oh my God, you're gonna get fucked out of your mind. You're gonna be on the next flight to Mars. Dude, I'm stuck between a wall and a fat place.
What does that mean? What are you talking about? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Buffet Buds. My name is Mark Anthony Snackaroo. This is JJ Limmer. Today we're doing something different. We're meeting up with a high-end chef, Chef Romain Avril.
He is one of the culinary badasses. He has worked in Michelin star restaurants, nationally recognized on television shows. He has his own cookbook coming out, and today what he's doing for us is he's preparing his signature dish with a weed-infused dessert. Let's go get fucked and get high and eat.
Did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me?
So I'm excited. I don't know what he's got in store, but I'm excited.
I actually followed him to his house one day and he didn't even know.
That's a terrible joke. Anyways, we're here with the guy, Chef Romain Avril. Pleasure to meet you, buddy. Thank you for doing
How's
this.
it going, Chef?
What do you have in store?
I'm going to take you on like a different path with cooking. The first one, we're gonna make a dish that's very elegant, an homage to my cooking and what I've been doing, which is a Tuna Tartare with a lot of Asian influence. And then we're gonna get down to the wheat portion, which is the cookie. So we're gonna do a chocolate chip cookie, and it will be infused with a little THC.
I love that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
Let's get started.
We're gonna start with the dressing, which is kind of like what brings the dish together. It's very strong, very punchy. The one dish that kind of reflects on who I am as a chef is the Tuna Tartare. Its texture, because of its flavor, because of its origin. Tartare is a French dish, but we're using pretty much only Asian ingredients. Daikon is more Japanese. The tuna is something that's more used in Japan.
Tell me about this tuna.
Yeah, it's yellowfin tuna, sushi grade.
Explain that to me, sushi grade. What is the difference? What's the process?
Hey, it depends like what kind of tuna. It's like the quality of the tuna itself. So like, right, it's like better cows than others, right? And
Of course.
Where do you get the tuna from? Is it Canadian?
No, so it's either Japan or from the West Coast. Or you can get it from.
know that.
I mean, there's.
Well,
again,
I mean like the Atlantic or the Pacific. I don't know. So this is freshwater?
No, you bird.
I don't know. I'm
How
asking
can it
a
be
question.
freshwater tuna?
I don't know.
You bird.
You get fucking salmon in rivers. So if you didn't know where tuna came from, you're a bird.
Yeah, there's no one out there going, oh, tuna, lakes.
There
like,
is.
They're not.
I am. The people who enjoy
No.
my comedy
Well,
are.
I guess that's why we have to ask
for
you.
a
Where'd
quicker audience, and we tuna
exactly.
doesn't swim in lake.
I know where you get cows from. Farms.
Yes,
You're an idiot.
that's why they
Anyways.
grow. Yeah, you plant them.
Yeah, you plant a cow seed.
But anyway, for dressing, so we're gonna emulsify. So you have to use a high-speed blender. So we're gonna blend. So we have some red onions, we have some ginger, and we have some garlic. Yeah, so we're gonna blend that with the soy sauce and the sambal. So that's gonna create a paste per se.
It's a high-end
Don't say it.
sriracha. I was
I
gonna
knew you were
say
gonna say sriracha.
it's a high-end.
Dude,
It's a high-end.
It's different.
I literally looked in your brain. I'm like, he's gonna fucking say
Why?
sriracha. And
Dude,
you're like, this looks like a sriracha.
Sriracha's amazing.
No, it's not.
I mean, you could say it's like Tabasco.
I like in
Yeah, I just want sometimes.
Harakiri.
Yeah, it's
but
what I want to
there's
do when I'm
actually
listening.
seeds drop.
He's
to-
sweating.
I'm fucking sweating.
Oh, we haven't started yet. But yeah, let's start with the dressing. So I'm gonna do that right now. And
Yeah.
Ah, there it is. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna basically get the tuna prepped.
yeah, dice it, put it in the fridge, and we'll work on the condiments, and then we'll mix all that together. If you look at the tuna, you'll see there's a lot of like little like layers per se. It's best to go for the eye of the tuna because this is where it's the thicker. So if you actually see, so like this would be the best part of the tuna, and this is like this. It comes off like this, so the skin is right there, so you can actually see, like you can see the skin right there.
Right.
So I'm just gonna like take that part off.
So that's no good. Can you use
It's
that?
good, yeah, and I'll show you like how I do it. But like for this, I want to keep like the nicer part, and we're gonna kind of like.
Oh, that's super beautiful.
That's it. But like so now, if you see the difference between the two, so when we get closer to the eye, it's pretty much all tuna, and pretty much if we were to do a difference between the two, right? You can
Wow,
see,
that's incredible.
right? So what happened in restaurant is you have tuna and you're gonna serve sushi, right? So sushi will be made from like literally the best part of the tuna, and you're left with this.
Yeah.
And you don't waste a lot of money. So how to use that without, you can't serve the sushi. That's where you scrape it, you take the meat out of the sinew, and then you serve that as a tartare. So that's why like most restaurants, when you have a tartare, it's kind of like, it has no texture, it's like very like mushy. And I don't think it's very pleasant. I don't really like it. When I did my tartare, I wanted to have more of a beef tartare texture per se. I think people are very scared of eating raw.
Of course.
But I think it's more so like, it depends where it comes from.
Eating raw is very similar to having sex raw. You got it. It's all about where it came from.
Yeah.
Your knife skills. I'm just watching you. It's so smooth. And how many years have you been practicing?
Since he was 13.
Yeah.
So how many years is that? I said how many years, and he said since he was 13. So
Nobody
where's
knows
his
how
age
long.
on? Yeah, come on.
Almost.
So you get a new knife every year?
No, I mean like the idea is you want to keep your knife for like as long.
Oh, really?
It's an investment, right? I mean, they are not cheap. So like, I'd rather spend a bit more money and it has like a tool. It's like everybody has to have the proper tool to work with, right?
Yeah.
That's your microphone, buddy.
Being public, obviously, I'm getting all the comments and like from everybody in the world like telling me I'm a fucking shit chef and you know better.
Really?
Than me. Oh god.
You stupid idiot trolls, you dumb motherfuckers.
That,
On behalf of JJ, go fuck yourself.
Kiss my ass.
I used to get so offended
Really?
when I first started because you feel like everybody's like out there for you and you understand that like it's most likely jealousy. I think a guy commented on my video and he says like, I can do so much better than you. I never ever said that I was the best because I'm not the best. There's always gonna be a guy better than you. And if you can't live with that, then that's your problem.
Man, your knife skills are so good. Have you ever thought about if the restaurant industry closed, you'd become a moil? Like, I would totally trust you with foreskin on a baby. That scraping, that was amazing.
Well, I mean,
Was that how they did yours? They scraped it? That's what the moral did to you? He scraped your foreskin?
So now we're gonna go with the pickling liquid. So we're going to make
This is my favorite part.
pickled ginger. I'm gonna start with the pickling liquid and I'm gonna slice the ginger and then we'll combine them together. You kind of like transform it. Obviously, when it's being pickled, it will last.
Also, the purpose of pickling is for the Pickle Sisters. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No one's seen the Pickle Sisters.
I wouldn't even know.
Right? Yeah, no one. Half the shit he says, nobody fucking knows.
So I have rice vinegar, so it's equal part. Usually it's always equal part.
This is my favorite vinegar. I love vinegar, and rice vinegar is.
Your favorite vinegar.
It's definitely my favorite. Well, it goes great with everything. Cucumber.
Can you let the guy show us how to fucking pickle, for God's
And
sake?
then we have the same amount of sugar.
Ooh. Now we're talking Mark's language.
I'm just gonna add a pinch of saffron. So that's gonna give that beautiful like golden color. And I'm gonna put a teeny bit of chili just for a bit of heat.
Make sure they remember you in the morning.
Exactly. So bring it to a boil so the sugar dissolved and it's gonna create like a syrup.
Like, dude, this is my problem when I cook at home. I eat non-stop. You ever have that? Like,
Like-
Snack as you
I
go.
pretty much don't eat until I'm home and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't eaten today.
Really?
And then you start, but like I will not get hungry because you really get fed from the smells.
How much fuller, with your nose, how much fuller do you think you
by the way, you get fed by the smells. I get disgusted by the smells.
I think there is such a thing as
Oh my god.
too much salt on the salt
decide
content.
Where should I put this?
And yes,
sink?
How much put it?
just got out of his cocoon.
Yeah.
By the way, how do you figure out like the one like one to one? Like, how do you figure
But
that out?
that's kind of a rule with pickling. Like,
So it's like a standard. Who wrote the standard rule, Mr. Pickle?
yeah, I guess.
Just put this in the sink.
Oh, look, see, this is where the culinary badass starts really coming out. Just the way you fold, like, look at that.
So for those of you who don't know, this is daikon, which is a form of radish in the radish family.
Daikon's amazing.
Look at that.
Do you have groupies as a chef? Like, are there groupies?
My girlfriend doesn't like it, but
But there are,
well,
right?
yeah, I think it's just like, but you have like people that have like a bit of like an adoration, I guess, for the art. So
Sure.
yeah, I would say so. Yes. Yeah, so
See, there's two kind of groupies. There's like the people who want to sleep with you, and then the people like me and Mark who just want to eat with you.
yes, I
You
mean,
mean, like-
but that's it, right? But
And maybe fuck you.
Did that one land? Did that joke land? JJ, this is an apple. It's a green apple.
So
Okay,
it's
this-
a Granny Smith.
Granny Smith?
So why the Granny Smith?
Why?
Because she was a cunt and she But it's more of a
It's
acidic.
acidic, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Granny Smith the cunt, and she wasn't as sweet as the other ones.
She definitely wasn't. So yeah, so we want to make sure the dice. So every time we also dice, everything is kind of the same size.
Oh my God! Look at this.
But this is
It's
not.
one of the more tarty rounds.
Yeah, it's very tardy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tardiness.
The idea.
So now you have like tartness, we have like spicy, we have spicy and sweet and acid. This is earthy.
How long did it take you to come up with this?
Well, it's like you perfect it, right? You come up with an idea and then you do it, and then over the years you're like, it's 99%, but like I can always do a bit better. So you never get to 100. It's like 99.
I agree with you
It's like a joke.
Yeah.
It's like a joke. You just keep refining the joke.
Yeah.
So we're gonna toast some pine nuts.
So no oil or anything, just straight on.
Right, yeah. I feel like it's gonna bring some richness. So like you have like it's a fatty nut. No fat jokes.
This guy
Fatty
literally
nuts
just
with
set
no
you
fat,
up
I know.
for a dunk.
They really bring like that nuttiness, that richness.
Yeah.
So you have like that fat that is gonna help.
Yeah.
So not. And then so like,
Listen, he doesn't need more ammunition for fat jokes. We're about to fry up some seaweed.
yes. You could eat seaweed like this, but
I
it's
love
not.
it.
It's not as pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna like rehydrate it in some French spray water and rice flour.
Are they paying us for that? We got the check, right? For
I will message them after when
Yeah.
it goes out. I'll be like, you owe me for that. So what we call a slurry. So a slurry is usually a little bit of flour and water. So it's like a very dark water.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's something that we're gonna use to fry.
Slurry sounds like a wet blowjob, so.
Give you a bring you
And
out
then
back
opposed
and
to
give
the
you a
dry one.
slurry.
So I'm just gonna dip it and I'm gonna put it in the oil. That would be like the top grade of salt. Just gonna wash my hands and then we'll
Beautiful.
plate.
Ooh, plating is coming.
So we're gonna start with our tuna. So I'm just gonna put that into the bowl. So obviously it's nice and fresh. Very important to serve it right away.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna add our pine nuts.
Oh, so you mix it together
Yep.
before the plating?
But you've never had a tartare, right?
I have, but I've never watched someone fucking plate it.
There's a recipe, but if you like more apple, if you like more of this, like feel free always to kind of like make it your own. I'm gonna take some of the pickled ginger,
Oh.
dressing that we made earlier. So you see like it's nice and thick, so it's gonna really coat the tuna. So you can use some chopped coriander. Just gonna put it together. So I actually don't season it because there's the soy sauce. So that's my salt content.
Right.
It's on. Oh, outstanding. Are we gonna be blown away?
It tastes as good as it always does.
Nice.
As good as it always does.
Tube that we all
Oh
really
wow, that's
hard.
amazing.
And then we're gonna finish with our little snackaroo.
Oh, come on.
So that's kind of what you use to dip it, like to give that.
Yeah, exactly. That like kind of like you can eat it with your fork, but you can also eat it with.
Oh, there we go.
So yeah.
There
This is it. Well done.
That is
Unbelievable.
Yes.
I want to eat this the way you intended to be eaten.
Yeah.
So walk me through that.
Very simply, I think I would just grab one of the nori chip
Yeah.
and then with one hand and then kind of like scoop some of the tuna tartare and try to get obviously as much as you can.
Oh my god, this is fucking amazing. Oh my god.
You know, you have all these textures and flavors, but there's not really any one that empower the other. It's kind of like subtle and kind of like blends in.
I'm gonna do what you did and class it up.
You got food on your face. How are you classing it up?
Like the tuna being cubed, there's texture.
Yeah.
You can actually bite it and it's like soft and pillowy.
Man, the apples and ginger are great together.
Because it's being surrounded, it's being complemented, right? So like everybody kind of play together.
This guy's treating this like fucking nachos. So slap him.
Isn't that what you said?
I said, yeah, it's one
He
way.
did not.
As long as the food is being consumed and
the-
appreciated.
This guy fucking loaded chip like it's guac, man. And you're like, so like a nacho.
This is amazing. So loading it up like a nacho is not the thing.
Clearly not. He's not. How many times do you want to ask him?
I mean, you can, but I mean, I'm imagining myself at a restaurant with a pretty lady in front of me.
Exactly.
So am I.
Listen to the track, bitch.
Now what we're gonna do, we are getting in the meat and potatoes of the weed element of the show. We are getting Chef to make us some cookies, but weed infused cookie. It don't look like a lot, but there's a lot in there. 100, how many milligrams?
We're gonna have about like 11 milligrams
Per
per
cookie.
cookie.
Now, we went with cookies because, JJ was treating something like, elevated tuna tartare like fucking nachos. So something nice and basic like cookies, JJ can scoop one cookie onto the next and fucking eat it. So talk to us, you said this is homemade chocolate.
So this is my own chocolate. I've shared it with my pastry chef and best friend Rochelle. So we went to France with a cacao berry. So they flew us there. We made our own chocolate, so we try all blends. So it's called 500. We're using really high quality chocolate,
Right.
which obviously helps, right?
Of course.
We use organic eggs, do really good butter, vanilla, of course. But first we're gonna actually cream. It's a little sexual. We're gonna cream our sugar in the butter. And it's actually where we're gonna add the oil, because cannabis actually attaches to oil or to any fat, right? So this is gonna really like blend in, and it's not gonna be like there's a bit of cannabis here and there's none there, right? So
it gets you equal parts fucked
exactly.
up.
It's not like you have the one guy in the corner that's like baked and the other guy is just like, well, I'm still waiting.
Awesome.
We'll start by adding into a bowl
So you just switch spots.
the brown sugar. I'm gonna add my butter. Then we're gonna add the reason why we're here today. We're just gonna add our vanilla. So we're gonna add one whole egg and then an egg yolk. I want the richness from the yolk, right? But I don't want to have like the white because it makes the mix a little looser.
Yeah, you don't want anything too loose.
Yeah.
You don't want it too loose where you're like, where have you been?
And then to that mix, I'm gonna add my
Flour mixture.
yeah, like my flour mixture.
Flour.
And we're gonna mix all of it until it comes together.
And then the chocolate goes in last?
Goes in last because you don't want it to be like completely like broken off. I still want like some chunk.
Right.
My dough is like just kind of like warm, so I'm gonna chill it a little bit so it'll be easy to roll.
Oh,
We're gonna put it in the fridge for about 10 minutes and then we'll roll it and then we'll bake it. Yeah, so we have our chill dough and then like now it's gonna be easy to work out.
There's very few who can do the sweet and the savory, right?
Yeah, so it's funny you bring that up actually because I take big pride on the art of pastry. Actually wanted to. I think pastry chefs are not being recognized with their true talent, and especially in Toronto. I think a lot of restaurants you go, you have an amazing meal, then you look at a dessert menu, you're like, what the fuck is this shit? Right? Like it doesn't like compare to the rest of the meal. But the truth is like a pastry chef is almost better than a chef, right? They are way more than science, techniques, precision. Like it's just something else.
Oh yes, I've seen that before. That's
I've
pretty
seen
cool.
the 2-finger technique.
I've seen
eh?
the 2-finger technique. I sometimes do when I bake cookies at home. Instead of the 2-finger technique, I use the shocker technique.
Yeah, and we're gonna bake these guys for 8 minutes at 375 on convection.
Okay, perfect.
Well, let's do it.
A few moments later.
Now listen, because JJ can't eat properly, is there a way you want us to eat these cookies?
Just like you would eat a cookie. One hand, two-handed, like crack it open.
Break it in half?
Well, the way he would eat a cookie is all 6 of those.
I always like doing the nice.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
have like the nice, yeah, like
Get the nice melted
Okay,
chocolate.
look at this. That's amazing. Chef,
Wow.
my favorite thing is dessert, and this is outstanding.
good sweetness, but you have some crunch. You cannot do the THC at the very end.
Oh, I can feel it. I can't, dude. If I
Shut up for God's sake.
is the chocolates. You know when you have a leak in the ceiling and you can literally look at that. How you can see the leak. Like you're like, oh, we got a water problem. We got a fucking chocolate problem right now. Look at that. We got a chocolate problem, boys and girls.
I want to have 2 of them, but I know I'll be fucking white.
You'll be fine. This was amazing.
This is incredible.
The one thing you did say, there is the difference between a gourmet cookie and like kind of like a junk cookie. This is definitely gourmet. This day was outstanding.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. And also, we want to. You have a book coming out.
Yeah, so I have a book coming out. It's a vegan book.
Yep.
Called The Vegan Bridge. So the idea is to kind of like open up carnivores into veganism, and I have a YouTube channel. It's Romain Avril. I do a lot of cooking videos. Try to be a little bit funny as well in some of them. I'm not a fucking comedian, but I think chefs can also be funny.
Yep.
And then the podcast, not to forget,
Yep.
which is called Gas Off, and it's food related and talking about all the problems in the industry.
You're definitely, dude, such a fun hang. I hope I can become your friend. I promise I won't DM you dick pictures.
Why? I just don't understand why you want to, but can I be your friend?
Honestly, anytime you want to go for a good meal, we'll treat you. All right, man. So thanks a lot for hanging out. It was super fun.
We're Buffet Buds. I'm Mark Anthony. This is JJ Lieberman, Chef Romain Avril.
Chef Romain Avril.
We'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.
For one